Okay, so the first thing we talked about rotational control, right? He wants rotational control. If he gets to my hip, he's going to have rotational control. So a half guard that simply looks like this doesn't do anything about addressing the freedom of my hip. So what I want you guys to try to do is have your knee on his opposite hip. Everybody come around to this side. Actually, no, come around to this side and I'll just turn so you can see. Everybody come around to this side. Over here, okay. I want my knee in his opposite hip. And my foot here is still engaged with the ground, so I'm hooking his back leg. What this does is it creates a barrier that he's going to have to address before he's able to smash me anyway. So even before we get to the underhook structure or anything like that, if my knee is here, that's something he has to address. If I give up on the half guard and he's passing, I just let him have this, that's something that now I'm not going to be able to get back, and I'm going to have to engage in an upper body battle with somebody who's got gravity on his side. So I don't want to do that. So first thing from half guard, ideally, I want to be here. The other thing I want to do is I can have my foot on his hip. I can have a butterfly hook. There are a lot of different variations for today. We're just going to go foot on the hip, and I'm going to have my knee against his shoulder. This is what we want our half guard to look like. My hands are in and I'm crunched. My forearm at the elbow is attached to my knee, and my hand is here. My other hand is on his bicep. This is our half guard. All right, from here, he has no way to get inside. He has no way to smash me, and he at the very least has to address this knee. And this is going to become very important later on because this is going to be our submission threat. We're baiting him to go after this so we can go for submissions from here. All right. So for now, I'm just going to have you guys partner up, get into this position, knee on the hip, foot on the hip, knee straight up. I want solid structure. So if you feel like he can just go to push my knee, if he can do that easily, let's say my foot here, my back foot, is not in contact with the ground. And then you can do it easily, right? So by structure and base, we're talking about effective contact with the ground. Here I've got effective contact not with the ground, but with his hip. I have an anchor point, and I've got a frame. If my knee is turned in, he smashes it. So I want my knee pointed straight up, I want my foot on his hip. As far as what I'm doing with my upper body, that'll become more important as we get past the legs. So let's say he got past my legs, now my hands are here. Right? You notice I haven't attempted to underhook him. The underhook to me right now is not even something I'm going for. If I underhook him and he cross faces me, that underhook is totally useless. So again, I want to emphasize this. I know it's orthodoxy in Jiu-Jitsu that you want the underhook here. No, you don't. You want base, and then you want the underhook. If you don't have base, forget about the underhook. So what I'm actually doing with my hands is keeping him from cross-facing me. This allows my shoulders to move. Now that I'm mobile, I can get to my base, I can get to my underhook. I'm also preventing him from putting too much weight on me because I've got my arms in and I'm just locking him out. So if I need to bring my knee back in here, I can. This creates a barrier which allows me to get to my base and my underhook in one motion. So I never have to, as I'm sure you guys have seen, I never have to do this kind of nonsense where I'm battling. Oh, I got my underhook. Woo! Now what? Right? So we want to get our underhook when it suits us, not because your coach is screaming at you, underhook, underhook, underhook. Forget about the underhook. All right, so once again, knee on the hip, foot on the hip, knee in the shoulder, hands in. He's going to come in. You're going on his opposite shoulder. Your forearm is under his throat. Your knee and elbow are connected. If they're not connected, he swims in here, gets the underhook, and now we got problems. So my elbow's connected. My elbow here is connected to my knee. I'm a solid structure. I'm a block. All right? You're just going to start with this person on top. Just going to kind of move around a little bit, try to pressure you. Yeah, and you're just going to stay in this block. All right? Try to match up size-wise, guys. If you're new to this, let me just quickly introduce James, Sean, Dwayne, Tyson. These are all guys that train with me, so try to partner up with them. Connor as well over here, the younger gentleman. So if you have any questions, please raise your hand. Don't feel that I will be offended in any way if you feel like what I explained to you didn't make any goddamn sense. I tend to talk a lot sometimes, and sometimes I'll lose you. So if you don't have anything fresh in your mind that I explained, or if you need a little more information or something's not quite working for you, just holler my name. Like I said, I will not be offended. I probably didn't explain it correctly. All right.